Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory as Roma's transfer window is starting to take shape. We've got some breaking news coming from the one and only Fabrizio Romano. Signing number 2 is about to be official, it's about to be accepted. We're speaking about Samuel Dahl, a Swedish left back. Fabrizio Romano says AS Roma are closing in on the deal to sign Swedish left back Samuel Dahl from Djurgården. Agreement is being finalized. The 2003 player, born talent, has already accepted the move, as called by Kristoffersson, which I believe is a Swedish journalist. So Fabrizio confirms this. This would be the second signing. I think this signing shows two very clear things about this policy that Roma are following over the course of this summer, apart from the fact that it's a sustainable move because his wages aren't big. He's very young, and it'd be a long-term signing. The two things that this signing show are very simple to tackle. Number one, it's a confirmation that this is the project that Roma wants to follow. It's a young project, and we've said this many times. I don't think that's a surprise. But, I think if we're starting to numerously appoint these signings, then I think us fans need to just put our feet on the ground and accept the next season is not going to be an easy season. It will not be an easy season. Now again, I know we've kind of analyzed this many times, right? And I think it's fair to repeat this again. If we're building a team full of players who are 2003, 2004, 2005, 2002, young players, young prospects, then we need to be patient more than ever. We need to understand that the first season of this project has a lot of chances of being a season which many of us will call a failure. But realistically, it will not be a failure. It's just a starting point of something new. And I tend to repeat this because I'm a football fan. I'm a Roma fan. You know me really well. Yes, I'm a YouTuber, but I'm here to try and opinionate. I'm here to try and I'm not here to try and make everybody believe what I believe, because I call that a dictatorship. I'm here to give my opinions. And I'm here to speak with other Roma fans out there. And I think one thing that we all need to agree as a group here, as a fan forum here is that if this is the team that we're constructing, I have no problem against this, because it's probably one of the projects that Roma's been lacking for many, many years. But it means that it will take time, and we will need to give patience to the team for it to develop, for it to grow, for it to improve its chemistry. It would be unrealistic to build a team with Dahl in defense, Lafy in the middle, other young players, 2003, 2004, 2005, and expect to get Champions League football. I don't think it's realistic. And I don't also think it's fair towards the team, towards De Rossi himself, who's starting to start something new, who's trying to start something new. He's trying to open a new chapter. And his team is being constructed full of kids, and us fans accept immediately to get Champions League football. I don't think that's fair. I think next season is going to be a very hard season. I don't think it's going to be easy. This doesn't mean that it's not going to be a good season. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to have fun. We're going to win games. We're going to draw games. We're going to lose games. And we need to understand this. I think number one thing next season is going to be patience. Because if we want to become a great team with young talents and young prospects and young potentials, then this is the starting point. Every single team which is constructed like this starts off with patience. And I know it's something that us Roma fans aren't used to, because I know us really well. We are not patient. But it's something that we need to start learning to do and to carry out on our team as well. So that's that. And then the other thing that this signing shows, in my opinion, is that Roma is, as always, under the Fredkins, is operating underground in the transfer window. And it clearly shows you that we get linked with players over players over players, day after day after day. But those players are actually not true. Because in literally 10 minutes, the news of him went out, And the news of him being a Neuron player from Fabrizio Romano has been confirmed in the space of 10 minutes. This rumor got announced at 7 p.m. At 7:30 p.m., Fabrizio stated that he's on the verge of becoming a Euro player. So that shows to you and to us that we are operating underground, that we're operating in silent, as always. Now, of course, there are going to be bigger names that is going to catch the media on a better note. You know, there are journalists out there like Di Marzio, for example, who speaks with Roma. He used to speak with Tiago Pinto, and he speaks with Ghisolfi. So Di Marzio is definitely a reliable source, but and it doesn't mean that what Di Marzio says is not the truth. It just means that not every single name that has been linked with us is actually true. And this is the case because we've been linked with 70,000 players and only 3 of them have been confirmed by Di Marzio and others. So this is big. Now again, I don't know him. I wish him all the best. I mean, I don't think anybody knows him. I have read a few things before going live today, and I've read that a lot of Swedish fans think he's very promising. I also read that he started a game with the first team of the Swedish national team this year. So his career is uprising from Djurgården up to Roma. It's a step up. It's a massive step up from his career. And I'm very excited. He's going to be very excited on this, and we can't hide this. We need to give him time. He's going to be Angelino's vice, long-term deal. In a few years, he's probably going to be a starter. But yeah, he's going to rotate with Angelino himself. Just a little note. Nothing. It's not nothing to do with Roma. But if anybody is Swedish here or follows Swedish football, I know he comes from Djurgården. Now I remember going to Stockholm with my family, and I remember that Djurgården was actually a little island in Stockholm, and it was a really cool island. Like it had a theme park. It had a museum, and it was like a green park with where everybody ran around. It was a really nice area. And I'm like, I don't remember seeing stadiums there. So is Djurgården the team actually from Djurgården? Or is it called Djurgården, but it's not from Djurgården? I'd be very curious if anybody from Sweden can let me know that. Because I've got no clue. But yeah, right, that's the deal. Now, in other breaking news, before speaking about striker hunt, En-Nesyri potentially leading the race as new striker, we potentially have another breaking news. Houssem Aouar, one step away from joining Al Ittihad, whatever that team is in Saudi Arabia, for around 15 million plus bonuses. Now, I'm not sure what Ghisolfi did. I'm not sure what Ghisolfi cooked here. But if we manage to pull out this move, this deal, then we've got all the rights to be named as scammers here, because I have no idea how we managed to get, if this news is true, 15 plus bonuses for Aouar, who did absolutely nothing this season. Like it was going to be a capital gain either way. Even if we sold him for 1 million, it would have been a gain because we bought him on a free. But selling him for 15 million plus bonuses is gold. Like it's like gold melting from our eyes. I have no idea why we managed to do this. I know Saudi teams have got money, but you also need to pay attention on how you spend the money. I've always been kind of taught that from my family. But yeah, little comment on that. Look, what I can say here is, I don't like selling players after one bad season. I don't like it, and I don't think it's fair. But I'm not gonna lie, it's gold. Selling Aouar for 15 plus million is absolute gold. And there was inevitably gonna be a little clear out this summer. Aouar never performed this season. He had his chances, scored a few goals, but overall he didn't have a good season. So it's probably good that we sold him, that he left us, and that we got quite a lot of money that we can reinvest in the transfer window. Because, you know, let's be serious here. 15 million, let's say 3 million bonuses. Let's say a total of 18 million here. You can get a pretty good player with 18 million. You can't get a world-class player, but you can get a better player than Aouar for sure. So it definitely is a game for us. The only negative thing here is that this shows you once again that we're not patient with players. Now, again, I'm attacking myself here as well because I've not been patient with Aouar. If you've been following the channel since for a year now, you know that I wanted Aouar to leave. I wasn't patient with him, which I personally think is not fair because you need to give more than 1 year for players who come from different leagues to adapt and orientate themselves and start playing well. And Aouar was talented. I watched him back when he was at Lyon, and he was a talented player. He just couldn't squeeze all that talent onto the pitch with us. So I do feel a bit bad because I think it just confirms this thing of Roma fans aren't patient. Roma fans kill and morally burn a player after it plays one bad game. And this is another example of this. And I don't think we'll ever grow if this is the attitude that us fans have towards these players, which need time to grow. But I think it's a good move. Like, it's a bit contradicting here, but I think you just can't say no to 15 million plus bonuses for a player who did, I hate to break it, but did nothing this season. We were expecting a lot. We were expecting, Aouar to be the Dybala partner, Dybala-Aouar link-up, and that never happened. I remember he scored a goal in the last game week, a useless goal against Empoli. I remember he scored a goal against Fiorentina, 2-2 game, and I remember he scored a penalty against Feyenoord. Other than these three things, Aouar to me was an absolute ghost for 8 months this season. So that's that. That's what I have to say on Aouar. It's been confirmed by Il Corriere dello Sport. It still hasn't been confirmed by Di Marzio and Fabrizio Romano at time of speaking. Il Corriere dello Sport say that the deal should be closed in like 24 to 48 to 72 hours. In Saudi Arabia, they are convinced that this weekend Aouar will sign the contract. I don't know how reliable this is. We'll have to see if it gets confirmed by bigger sources, but if it does, this is my little comment. Right, let's get to the title of this live stream. I know a lot of you guys are here because of En-Nesyri. Is En-Nesyri happening? Is En-Nesyri the striker that Roma are going to go through? I hope not. That's my honest reaction here. I hope not. I hope En-Nesyri is not going to be a striker. Because I touched on this yesterday. I don't think he's the striker we need. I really don't. I find this deal boring. I find this deal a classic Roma deal. And I don't see this deal as something new, as a long-term investment that we really want to make. If we want to make a big investment up front, spend a lot of money, like we did with Tammy a few years ago, spend a lot of money now and then keep him for 3, 4, 5, even more seasons, or resell him for more, then the striker investment should not be Youssef En-Nesyri. He shouldn't be him. Look, Di Marzio is saying that Roma and Seville are trying to find an agreement, which suggests to me that Roma are really determined to get this done. I am scared. I'm scared. I'm disappointed. I am. Look, I don't know how to break this deal down. I said this yesterday. The one word that comes up in my mind when I look at this deal, when I look at the criteria of this deal, the stats of the player, I call this. I have no excitement whenever I see En-Nesyri being linked with us. I've got nothing against the player, but we need more than this. We need better than this. We've been floating in this ocean of mediocrity for the past 6 years. Let's face it. Since Dzeko left, we never had a proper striker. We need somebody like Dzeko. We need somebody who can reach his prime in our team. You remember Dzeko prime? We need somebody who comes here, give him 2 years, and then he's in his prime with us. We need somebody who carries this team physically, scoring goals for fun. En-Nesyri scored 10 goals last season, and the season before that had similar stats to that. He isn't going to arrive here and be the striker that is going to change the dynamics of this team. He isn't. And since Dzeko left, we didn't have a proper striker. I'd say Lukaku was it, but Lukaku was on loan, so you can't really compare Lukaku to it. Since Dzeko left, we never managed to sign a proper striker that could fill out Dzeko's boots. And sometimes I get those TikToks in my TikTok feed, videos of Prime Dzeko, that banger against Chelsea, and then I get, it goes hat-trick against Villarreal, and I'm like, is it really that hard to get a player like that? And I'm like, okay, it's not easy. Yes, you got to spend the money, because to get a good striker nowadays, you can't spend less than 40 million. Let's face it. You can't spend less than 40 million if you want a good striker. You can have risks. Mikadautse we discussed yesterday. En-Nesyri is not a risk. En-Nesyri he's already past his prime. En-Nesyri isn't a risk. En-Nesyri is a scripted, boring, absolute monotone deal. Monotone. It's the deal that you would expect Roma to get. And I don't like this. I don't. I see. There are a lot of exciting strikers out there. Why do we need to be so boring and get En-Nesyri? Adding on to that from a team which robbed us from our biggest dream. Please don't do this. Dimarzio saying that Roma are trying to find an agreement. In worst case scenarios, if we get En-Nesyri, I want another striker. Okay, if we keep Tammy, maybe no. But if we buy En-Nesyri and sell Tammy, then the player that we need to buy should be a better player than En-Nesyri. We can't possibly start the season with En-Nesyri and another boring name. We need to be better in terms of creativity as well. And that, I think, is something that we are getting very wrong. Look, that's what I can say on this deal. What can I add? A few teams are interested in him. Fenerbahce, Mourinho wants him. Also, Saudi team wants him. Yeah, that's, I think, the tournament that En-Nesyri should be looking at. In the Turkish league, with Mourinho, En-Nesyri is going to rock it. En-Nesyri in the Turkish league, under Mourinho, in the second best team in Turkey, is going to score goals for fun. He is, because the Turkish league is a shit league. But in the league, in the Serie A competitive league, I see players reinforcing, I see teams reinforcing day by day, and we're looking at En-Nesyri, who scored 10 goals last season in La Liga, and the year before that had similar stats. We're never going to compete with them if these are the deals we're looking for. I hope that this deal doesn't happen. I really do hope that this deal collapses, or that this deal gets called fake or gets denied by Roma. But it looks like it is true. It looks like we are interested in him. And yeah, that is that. People are asking about Chiesa. Now, there was a new rumor today which said that Chiesa was back very close to Roma for around 30 million. And then some other sources say that Roma and Trigoria and people at Trigoria have in fact denied this rumor. What I can say about Chiesa is that I don't think the deal has collapsed. I never said that the deal was collapsed. I just think that Roma has set up an ultimatum. I don't think Roma has completely faded away from Chiesa. I think what Roma's trying to do here is make Chiesa, what Roma and Juventus are trying to do together. Because Juventus, what I think the situation is here with Chiesa is that Chiesa had a meeting with Thiago Motta and Giuntoli and the Juventus board. And the Juventus board repeated to him that he is not in their plans and he's not in their project. So I think after having heard this, I think Chiesa's now like, right, I've understood that they don't want me. I need a new team. I like Roma. I know that Roma want me, and I know that if I say yes, I'm a new Roma player. Let me just wait a few days to see if there's a bigger move, a Champions League team. If it doesn't, I keep Roma. So what I think the situation here is, Chiesa's waiting a bit longer, maybe even after his marriage, which is the 20th of July, to see if anybody is actually interested in him. If they're not, I think Chiesa will say yes to Roma. It's chaotic. Like every single day we get different sources here. Like one of them says Chiesa back, one of them says Chiesa's faded away, one of them says Chiesa deal collapsed. Truth is, we don't know. We've given an ultimatum because we can't wait forever. He needs to make up his mind because we can't be waiting forever. We're already delayed in the transfer window. We are already delayed. Look at Atalanta. They already signed Godfrey. They basically signed Brescianini from Frosinone, Zaniolo, and they're also accelerating on signing Matt O'Reilly from Celtic. What a signing. Atalanta already has 4 players. Lazio, 3 players. Are they good? I'm not saying they're amazing, but they already have 3 signings. Juventus, Douglas Luiz, Kefrem Turam, Milan, Fofana. But I think we're delayed, and we can't be wasting more time. It's already the 11th of July. In 38 days, we play Cagliari, and we only have Enzo Lefebvre and on the verge of signing this guy from Sweden. Other than that, nobody. We need to accelerate. We need to be quick. Now, that doesn't mean that being quick means that you need to rush your deals. Because the other thing with En-Nesyri here is that I think it's a rushed move. I think it's a hurry move. I think it's one of those deals where you go, oh shit, I don't have a striker. I need a striker really quick. Who do I get? I need to be quick. Let me get En-Nesyri. That's wrong. You need to be quick, but you need to be smart. You need to be smart by being quick. And you need to be quick by being smart. You don't have to rush things just to get things done. Because that's what we've done for the past 4 years. Hasn't worked out, has it? Be smart. You need to accelerate, yes. You need to try and comb this gap that other teams are forming. But you need to be smart. And if I need to rush En-Nesyri so that I can give the Russia striker within 5 days, 10 days, no. Wait for somebody bigger. Definitely. So that's that. All right, let me read a few comments. Roma on top says Himadri. Hello, Chris. We shouldn't expect that we are going to Champions League next season, but in the coming years we are winning the league if we believe this. Yeah, you gotta give time, patience, as always. It's the key. It's the key. Hey Fabian, award to Saudi Arabia for 15 million probably. Yes, indeed. Will Chiesa join Roma? We have to see these coming days. We get different rumors every day, so we gotta see what happens and if he makes up a decision. Simo, there are lots of reports on the Chiesa front. What have you heard about the latest stall with this player? Well, look, I'm no journalist. I know what you guys know. I read the news. I try to separate the bullshit from the actual news. Wait until some reliable sources speak. I am in your same boat. Let's wait and see what happens here. I'd rather not get Chiesa if his priority is somewhere else because it will sooner or later have an effect. I still want Chiesa, but if he doesn't want us in the next 5-6 days, then we should go for something else. Riquelme isn't bad. I'd like Riquelme. I thought it is a very good technical player, but he struggled with the tactical side of Serie A. What worries me more is that he's almost identical in style to Lefebvre. I disagree. I think Lefebvre, in terms of technique, I think they're similar, yes, but Lefebvre is more of a box-to-box midfielder. Aouar was always meant to be Dybala's substitution, Dybala's replacement, and he just wasn't. Lefebvre is somebody who can take Cristante's spot. Aouar is somebody to take Pellegrini or Dybala more. You know, for me, it's good if we sell him because if he don't fit the project and you shouldn't give him time. Otherwise, no one wants him because he's too old, says Lucas. Simo, English or Spanish? English. Now, also, England against Spain in the final. I am praying that England lose. I'm going to turn Spanish on Sunday because I can't see England lift that trophy. My eyes can't see England lifting that trophy. Roma just bought Swedish fullback from Djurgården. Yes, you've watched him live. He does not meet the standards, says Jacob Larson. You're speaking about Dahl, the Swedish lad. Give him time. I know you watched him live and you probably have a better opinion than us, but give him time. He's still very young. We should go get Greece striker Ioannidis. He's an amazing striker. What's your opinion on Zirkzee joining Man United? I'm afraid he's going to ruin himself, but I am a massive fan of him, and I think he should have stayed in the Italian league because it suited him perfectly. Tanya was good in year one, but it was a lot of tap-ins, and he still missed sitters. I still can't believe how we were trophyless for 15 years. Not buying Marcos Leonardo was a mistake. Where is he now? Is he at Benfica? Yeah, but I think he's at Benfica. David, we haven't started negotiations with him. It was always an idea, never kind of a more than an idea. We haven't sold any players yet, correct? Well, a lot of players ended their contract. A lot of players went back from loans, but selling, no. No, we haven't. Right, I'm going to catch you tomorrow. Hopefully something happens. Chiesa front, I don't know. Striker front, hopefully not. En-Nesyri. Yes, hopefully something happens because, as I said before, we need to be quicker than this because in 38 days, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to hit the like if you're watching this live or not. Please do hit the thumbs up. It takes 2 seconds and it would support this channel and community a lot. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Yeah, do it. And follow Roma Theory TV on Instagram. And I'll talk to you very soon. Good night and enjoy your evening here. Simo out.